Hey guys, so we're gonna take a break from the destiny swapping content and talk about something very necessary within the spiritual community. And basically what it comes down to is the harsh judgment of spiritual practitioners and teachers. Okay. And if you're unfamiliar with me or my content, welcome. My name is Nikki. I'm an initiated high priestess, witch, espiritista, and psychic medium. And I wanted to talk to y'all about something that I've dealt with personally. And I know that other spiritual practitioners deal with it as well. And it's this judgment. It's this sentiment of, well, if that person is struggling with X, Y, and Z, then they have no right to be teaching. And as someone who does have godparents, who had to go through hell before I found the right godparents for me that actually treated me well, I'm a big believer in scoping out your teachers. And more importantly, especially if we're talking about people that will be your godparents and your spiritual family and be ritualized with you to bond you as a spiritual unit, yeah, it's very important to look into that person and their life, right? 100%. But I think there are certain nuances here that need to be talked about. Because people judge me for teaching, especially certain people that know certain aspects of my life, of my history, and so on and so forth. My age, my biological age, and so all that comes into play. I think the biggest thing to look at if you're looking at a spiritual teacher is their integrity. And I'm going to be very vulnerable with y'all and use myself as an example. Because I think this concept, while it might have looking closely at spiritual teachers, while it's well-intentioned, it can turn into, dare I say, ableism very quickly. Using myself, and I just paused because I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Using myself as an example. I am what is called a walk-in soul, okay? When my mother delivered me, I was half dead. My mother didn't even get to hold me, because when I popped out, boom, wasn't breathing. Tongue tied up in the back of my throat, blocking my airway. I was blue at delivery. They called it code blue. And in that moment, the soul that originally occupied this body of mine, bloop, went back up, left. And my soul, Nikki's soul, hopped in. I was thinking about this earlier, the first time that I tried to record this episode, and I think I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all with this walk-in soul story. I don't know if this is a thing, so may the elders forgive me if it's not. But I think I have ADHD on a soul level, y'all. I really do. Because I think what happened, because like I said, I'm an old soul, right? I was ready to reincarnate, girl. And I love being a woman. I'm a very feminine soul at my core. I have my masculine aspects, but I have a lot of feminine energy naturally, right? So Nikki's soul is in the ethers, floating around, wanting to come in. Boom. Jumps into the first available feminine vessel there was. No research. no asking God and the divine and my ancestors and my spirit team. Not looking. Just whoop, hopped in. And I'm not ready to tell my birth story further than what I've already described at this moment. I don't know if I ever will be publicly. But there were a lot of complications. I've had probably at least 12 to 15 surgeries. And on top of that, I've told y'all before, I've had probably close to 15, at least 10 near-death experiences. My birth, or the birth of this vessel, being one of them. This vessel has certain struggles. I'm not sick. There are certain struggles that I have with this body that I've always had, right? That I don't really talk to anyone about. Except those very, 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 very close to me. I'm healthy. With the asterisks. For that reason, I am very big on integrity when it comes to doing ritual work for clients. If a client comes to me and their health is struggling with similar issues to mine, I'm going to consult them and guide them where I can, but if they need actual ritual work or even ceremony, I refer them elsewhere. Because my godparents taught me that. If you are struggling with a certain area of life, you don't need to be doing ritual work in that aspect of life for other people. Number one, because, and this is my godparents' verbatim words, you'll give your blessings away. Especially when it comes to health, love, finances, all that kind of stuff, right? And also, beyond that, you run the risk of actually compromising that person. Because you don't have the 100% ache or magic or life force in that area at that moment in time to give them that blessing. Right? It's like if I'm sick, if I'm super duper 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 sick, which I am not in the moment, thank God, I'm not going to do a wellness spell for someone at that moment. I will refer them elsewhere. Because I still want the person to get help. And I can still guide them a little bit to a certain degree. But for the help they truly need, I'm just not in the right season of life to give that to them. That's how I operate. That's how I was taught. By elders that know their stuff and embody what they teach, right? But on the flip side of this, just because I or another spiritual practitioner have certain struggles, that doesn't mean we don't have shit to offer the world. That's a very ableist perspective. And it's like, I want to ask these assholes, is your life perfect? No. Show me the book. Show me the sacred text where it says explicitly that witchcraft and spirituality is a guaranteed checkmark and route to a perfect life, or an easy life for that matter. Show me where it says that, because it doesn't. I've never claimed that. I don't believe that. It's a tool, especially for the feminine, That's why I am so big in my courses, and including I teach you the spell, and I also teach you the why behind the spell. I teach you the properties of each herb, spice, plant, crystal, whatever we're using, and why I'm using it in that trabajo, in that working, and how and when to do the spell. And also, I include the inner work. Right? And the healing stuff too. The emotional, spiritual, energetic, and psychological, the subconscious work, all that kind of stuff. My work is very intricate and very deep. I'm a Capricorn moon. And I'm just using myself and I'm not even going to say health issues, because knock on wood, I am not sick. All my labs, all my scans, I get regular blood work and doctor's appointments and all that. I'm very big on health. I'm not a health freak. Like, girl, I love a vegetarian cheeseburger and some sweet potato fries with ranch and a Diet Coke. But I'm mindful. I still struggle. But I have gifts. And while I might not be capable of helping someone in a certain area in a certain way at the season of life, I can help them in other ways. And the people judging spiritual practitioners that actually have integrity, it's like, is your life perfect, motherfucker? No, it's not. Ooh! Spirit is talking. I'm, again, using myself as an example. The bitches that judge me and say, oh, she shouldn't be teaching because she struggles with that. I'm like, you're judging me from my circumstances and my struggle? Let me tell you where I one-up you, bitch. I don't let men dog walk me. I don't have a trash, problematic love life and a toxic relationship or marriage. I don't. You do. And you're judging me? You want to go tip for that? How many bodies have you done on that man? And he still dogs you out? And you still put up with it? I had to get petty for a second, y'all. Because that's the shit I'm talking about. If you're going to judge me, I'm going to flip the mirror back at you and judge you right back. If you dig hard enough. Not to be a mean-ass bitch, but to say, I'm human, you're human too. You might not have the same struggle I do, but you still got one. We've got a lot of work to do, especially as the feminine, before this planet is even halfway close to perfection. But if you're going to look at a spiritual teacher and judge them on the integrity, on the quality of their work. All of my students in my courses are fucking blown away. I have I have so many reviews, y'all. Because they can, oh my god, my work is just dripping in, like, love and care, and I love it so much. They can feel the passion I put into it, and it shows, and it gets them results. You know? If you don't think I'm a good teacher for you, then don't learn from me. That's fine. But this step of creating my, I guess you could call it mystery school, it's a stepping stone to me being a godmother. One day. God willing, when that day comes. I'm not in a rush for it. I'm not a perfect person, but I do my absolute best to have integrity with myself and with others. I'm not schemy. I don't sell quick fixes. No. Are some of the spells and stuff that I teach, have I seen them work overnight? Absolutely. If not that same week, 100%. But those are outliers. My goal is to give knowledge that works, that my ancestors gave to me, and that I've tried and tested, that you can use for the rest of your life. That's my goal. I'm not one of these practitioners that sells, what's that saying, hope like dope and quick fixes. And that's why it's a 2-part thing. That's why I'm on year 6, and it has been a slow burn for me. I don't have tens of thousands of followers, but I'm okay with that. Because I've done it with integrity, and that's why I'm still here. When I do ritual work for clients, I tell them, this is going to take some time. I got to do this, this, and this. And Spirit is saying it needs to be worked for this many days or this many weeks, whatever. And it's going to take some time. But I'm in your corner. I'm your biggest cheerleader, and I'll get it done. And I think that this year, moving forward, we are seeing a big shift in the collective consciousness. There have been a lot of collective shifts over the last few years, especially since Miss Rona, especially since 2020. But one of them is people are done with the quick fixes and the reels and the shorts and the, cheap dopamine hits and the gimmicky marketing and the hyper-masculine sales tactics and the pressuring and all this low-integrity bullshit. People are sick of it. People are sick of surface-level shit. They're tired of surface-level connections. They're tired of surface-level content. That's why I've switched. I might put out shorts every now and then and reels, but my bulk of my content is long form. And I prefer it that way. Okay? But I just wanted to put this out there because some people are very judgmental. And it's like, you're judging someone else's life that's also a so-called spiritualist because it's not perfect, but neither is yours. And don't get me wrong, there are certain parameters and necessary things to be in place. If someone is going to, spiritually give birth to you, being your godparent, they need to have their shit together. Okay? That's just common sense. But their lives are never going to be perfect, and neither is yours, because we're fucking human. I swear to God, some people get so much, they spend... Let me be careful with my words. Some people get so much spiritual knowledge that they forget that they are human. And not only are the worst part about it is it causes them to be harsh towards themselves, and it also causes them, in some cases, to be super harsh and judgmental towards others. And that's not okay. I'm going to be 100% honest with y'all. I'm almost 29 years old. There are certain aspects of areas of life, I don't know what the the proper word is, but I know in Romani culture, we have the wheel of life, right? The Romani wheel, if you've ever seen it on the Roma flag, it's actually I think it's a chakra wheel, but it represents the 16 different areas of life. And there are certain aspects of my life that box is checked. I'm good. I got it down. I wouldn't say I've mastered it, because again, I'm only 28 right now. But, again, I'm an old soul. I've got it figured out. Again, love life, not a problem. And I damn sure I don't need any more lessons in that department. I'm good. Right? And that I'm comfortable with how that area of my life is at the moment. I'm satisfied. I'm content. And then there's other areas that need a little bit of tweaking. And then there's other areas that, one or two, that I'm struggling, girl, in this season. But so the fuck are you? It's just, you judge me because my areas of that wheel of life are different from yours. And the next season, God always turns those tables. It can be, I'm up in those areas, and you're down. That's just life. But I know in the deepest core of my being that I didn't go through all the shit that I've been through for me to only benefit from it. So I'm not going to let it be in vain. And I'm not a greedy person. I'm very generous. Anyone very close to me will tell you I am a giver. I love to give. I'm a Cancer. I'm very nurturing. Y'all can, you can tell that from looking at my YouTube channel alone. I started this podcast in March. Girl, the other day, I think it was last night, I posted my 50th episode. 50 episodes in 3 months? That's a lot. For free. Because I love it. And it's cathartic for me. And it's helpful as an ADHD neurodivergent woman to have an outlet for my thoughts. And I appreciate y'all being here with all my heart. And God willing, I'm not going anywhere. And, this needs to be a separate episode. Okay, Nikki, no, it's 3 o'clock in the morning almost. We are not going on a goddamn tangent. Okay, but eventually, I'm going to make an episode about how the karma of our lives is not always punishment. It is not as cut and dry as you were a bad mother in a past life, so you get a bad mother in this one. That does exist and it does happen, but a lot of times that's not the case. It's other reasons, especially for the feminine. So karma is not as cut and dry as a lot of spiritual people trying to make it. And just the things that we go through, it's not always punishment. And again, Capricorn moon, I used to always think that. I'm like, damn it, God, what did I do now to get punished? Lord, why? And it's like, that's not the case. Okay. I'm going to jump off of here. For the next, 2.5 days or so, I'm having a 44% off sale on all my courses. Very big sale, a very big number. But I wanted to give something back to you. I'm feeling very, very, very generous lately, more than usual. The code is Siren in all caps at checkout. It applies to 1 course per purchase, per transaction. Okay? I will put the details in the description. Again, it was a 72-hour sale when it started. About 8-10 hours ago, so it's got about 2.5 more days, and then I'll shut it down. But definitely take advantage of that. Because of the nature of my work, I don't do huge sales very often, and I won't, because of how deep my work is and how much I pour into it. But this was a special one, so if you've had your eye on a course, definitely snag it. Code is Siren at checkout. Go to sirensnectar.com/courses. Afterpay is also available at checkout, so you can use the 44% off, and you can still split up the payments with Afterpay. And for the Destiny swapping course, girl, that's like $1,333 early bird pricing. That's a good chunk. And there's also VIP options for all my courses, and you can use the coupon on that as well. Okay, I love y'all so much. Again, go to sirensnectar.com/courses and use that code Siren at checkout. Alright, I love you. Bye.